Friends, and welcome back to my channel for another Tuesday morning haul to Kit to Create series. I know it's been a while, but I'm excited to get back into this series again. So if you're just now joining me, this is the sketch that I'm going to be using, and this sketch is actually going on right now in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, where it's all about using up your stash. And I thought this was going to be very easy. I was like, perfect, I'm going to go back to work in a couple days. I could probably knock out 2 or 3 layouts, and using this sketch is going to make it go by really quick. Wrong. And here's why. So this wasn't originally going to be a Tuesday morning series. It was just going to be a stash busting series. And so I went through my stash, and I pretty much set myself up for failure, and here's why. When I was going through my stash, I found this My Mind's Eye paper, and I had 5 of them. 5 of them, Desiree. Like, what was I thinking? Seriously. It's the same exact paper. And I thought, are you kidding me? I bought 5 of these. This was back when I had not scrapbooked in about 8 years because I had my kids and everything. And I was like, I have nothing in this collection, and it's colors that I don't normally gravitate to, which are yellows and greens and reds. And so I thought, what am I going to be doing with this paper? The back side, however, was really nice. It was a nice, like a sage green, and it read as a neutral, almost like this one here. And I thought, okay, I can do this. I'm going to use one of the paper, and I'm going to make that the back side. I'm going to use the other one. I'm going to use most of it because it was a chevron, like I said, with those colors. And I'll make it work. Well, after, I'm not kidding you, almost all day in my scrapbooking room, trying to shop my stash, trying to find things to go with it, and not being successful, I finally was like, I'm done. I am done. And during that time, I was even like organizing my room and trying to clean it up. And so even after my room was all clean, I still just could not figure out what to do. So I finally was like, I'm done for the day. I put it off to the side, and I came back the next morning. And that's when I was like, okay, so I need to obviously pick out different supplies. Now, like I said, I cleaned up my room, and there was this IKEA kit that had a previous Tuesday morning haul in it. And I was looking through it, and I thought, you know what my inspiration is? It's going to be these rubber pieces that I got from Tuesday morning, and it's the one by the Cool Kids collection. And I thought, perfect. Now, I do have a 6x6 paper pad, so this is not really necessarily cheating, but I have a 6x6 paper pad, the epoxy stickers, the paper stickers, and that is it, along with these rubber pieces. Oh no, I do have the ephemera pack as well. And that is it. So I don't have any of the 12x12 papers. I have to come up with a background still. And so I went through my stash, and I found this one by Pebbles, and it's a Lakeside collection. It's pretty old. I think it was from 2012. And I was like, you know what, these colors are perfect. So I cut that branding strip off, and then I thought, you know what, instead of wasting that branding strip to where it's just going to go right back into my stash in hopes that I'm going to use it, I'm going to commit myself to use it. And I did. I was successful. Yay! At least one thing got done that I wanted to. And so I was really excited about that I got to use that branding strip on the same paper or layout that I'm working on. Now, those photos are kind of dark, and I did not want to reprint them. So instead of using black, which is what is actually in this collection, I'm going to use a darker gray. So that way it's still a little bit more softer than a harsh black against those photos. So I found this geotag paper, and again, that was probably like the size of a 6x6, or maybe even a little bit bigger. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to cut these into strips, and then I'm going to use my border punch. And even though it does not go across the 12x12 paper, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to bunt them up together and then try to cover up the seams somehow. And it ends up working out perfectly. Now, the paper that I do use, as far as the majority of it, it has some printing on it. Now, that was from the I keep wanting to say Wild Child, the Cool Kids Crepe Paper collection. And it had these words in it with these funny definitions. For like, one was like bugs, and it's like how to scare your sister. And it was all about not necessarily what the true meaning is, but just describing kids. And I laughed. I was like, I want to use most of this up, and I do not want it to be covered. Okay, I just got back from eating dinner. My husband, I found this recipe on Pinterest, and it's cashew chicken. It is the bomb. It's the second time we've made it. It is so, so, so good. Okay, enough about my dinner and what I ate. So I left off talking about the paper that had the definitions that were not the true definitions, but more like things that relate to a kid. And I knew I didn't want to, like I said, cover that paper up. So I'm putting everything down. And meanwhile, my wheels are kind of spinning right now because I'm like, okay, well, now that I got this all situated, in the sketch it showed a whole bunch of pieces, and you don't have to do scraps of paper or anything like that. You can definitely alter it to make it into what you need it for, so that way it fits your layout. So my wheels are turning and I'm just trying to figure out what can I do, and I keep going back to like the chipboard and these layered stickers and the epoxy stickers and pretty much anything that I had of this collection, and a few other things that I pulled that might work with this collection, but nothing was working. And then that's when I was like, all right, I got to think of different embellishments. And so I was like, you know what, brads. I love brads. In fact, I'm bummed that a lot of companies are no longer making brads. I feel like a lot of companies are starting to go to just paper products, but probably because of cost. But I'm glad I have the supplies that I do. So I have these ones that have been in my stash forever, and they were shaped as stars, and I thought, perfect, they're silver, they're going to work. Now I'm going to cover up that seam that I told you about, from that geo tag paper. Now here I am going back to that sticker. I'm going to try out a few of these stickers. I thought maybe the word phrase one doesn't work out because I feel like I have so much wording up on top of that paper that I don't want to lose that, because I do want people to kind of read it because it is hilarious. And that's when I move those papers around, or those sticker sheets around, and then you see that little perforated top from a 6x6 paper pad that I'm making a fishtail banner. I was like, all right, I challenged myself to use up the scraps that I'm making. As you know, like one, I used the banner, or not the banner, the branding strip. And then I was like, okay, well, let me try to use this branding strip from the 6x6 paper pad. And what I did was I just kind of snipped the ends of it, and then I got to cut it in half so that way it hides behind and looks as if it's really going behind the pinking circle that I made. And I like that. And I even keep that little hole punch there that I know some people are like, oh, that drives me crazy, Desiree. And that's okay, because it's not your scrapbook, right? It's what I like, and I kind of like that look. I like where there's little peekaboo windows coming out and stuff. And I try to make another peekaboo window with this scrap piece of paper here, but then I felt like the wording, it was becoming too much. And that's when I was like, you know what? I don't need to have this anywhere else at this moment. I'm going to try to think of a different ideas, and you'll see me kind of try out a few things. But I need to just move on. And this is when I was like, all right, I have these, my mind's eye stickers, and I thought I showed you them. Maybe I'll show you them here in a minute. These layered stickers, and I'm going to use those. That says noted, and that is from a really old collection. I want to say it was from like 2010 or 12 or something like that. And I'm glad I got to use those. It had the perfect colors that went with this collection. But now for the title. I looked through all of my stickers, and you know, people say, Desiree, purge, just purge your stash if you're so sick of using it or seeing it. And here's why I don't purge anything, because I know one day I'm gonna find somewhere for it to go. So you see those orangey red that match perfectly with this collection that says Grandpa. Oh, actually here I'm showing you right now. I'm showing you the teal is from L Studio, and here is from Basic Ray from 2005, guys. Yes, that has been in my stash for that long, and no, I have not yet done any of the papers, but those stickers, those letters worked awesome in this layout. And so I'm really excited. So now I'm just going to add another brad. I'm going to add some white enamel dots, and then I'm also going to sprinkle some white picket fence by Ranger. That's not opaque, or no, it is opaque. and just a very solid colored white. I'm going to sprinkle that all around, and then I'm going to call this layout done. Now, yes, I do still need a journal. However, I don't like to feel rushed on journaling because journaling is definitely not my strong suit. I'm not a very wordy person, so I like to take my time. It does take me sometimes a couple weeks to add my journaling. So the place I'm going to put it is right next to the little robot. And the reason why I have a robot, it reminds me of my son who loved to tinker with things. All right, everybody, that is my layout. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did and you find that this style is your style, I would love to have you over to my channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I would love to have you here. All right, everybody, you have a wonderful day. Bye.